It started with the sound of shattering glass. Conversation stopped. Forks froze mid-air. The hum of the small roadside diner turned into a tense silence as two men argued near the counter. In a corner booth, a tired-looking single father named Jack quietly set down his coffee cup and told his young son, "Stay here, buddy." What happened next would change both of their lives forever, and the CEO watching from the far corner had no idea that the man stepping into the fight was someone from a past he tried to forget. Jack wasn't the kind of man who looked for trouble. He was the kind who worked double shifts, fixed broken toys instead of buying new ones, and still managed to smile for his son, Ethan, at the end of every long day. Life had beaten him down plenty: divorce, layoffs, unpaid bills, but he never let his boy see him quit. They came to this diner every Friday night for the same reason: a cheap meal, a little normalcy, and the comfort of the waitress who always remembered Ethan's favorite pancake topping. That night, though, peace didn't last. The shouting started when a rough-looking man in a leather jacket grabbed the waitress by the arm, slurring curses about a mistake on his bill. The entire diner watched, frozen. No one wanted to get involved. Jack felt his blood boil. He stood up slowly, eyes steady. "Hey," he said, his voice calm but firm. "Let her go." The man turned, sneering. "Mind your business." Jack didn't flinch. "This is my business now." The fight that followed wasn't pretty. Jack wasn't a fighter anymore. He had been one once, years ago, but instinct and heart kicked in. Chairs scraped. A plate shattered. And in the end, it was Jack who stood between the terrified waitress and the man now stumbling out the door, muttering threats. The diner erupted in murmurs, admiration mixed with fear. The waitress clung to Jack's arm, thanking him through tears. Ethan ran over, worried but proud. "You okay, Dad?" Jack smiled, brushing dust off his shirt. "Yeah, buddy. Just a little mess, that's all." In the corner booth, a man in a tailored suit had watched everything silently. His name was Richard Kane, CEO of one of the biggest tech companies in the city. To him, people like Jack were background noise, hardworking, invisible, replaceable. But something about Jack's face, his voice, stirred a faint memory. Richard couldn't shake it off. He slipped a business card onto the table and left quietly, unaware that fate had just set a new course for both their lives. The next morning, Jack woke up sore but content. He didn't think about the fight much. It wasn't about heroism, just doing the right thing. But later that day, he got a call from an unknown number. "Mr. Harris?" a woman's voice asked. "This is Sarah, assistant to Mr. Richard Kane. He'd like to meet you." Jack was stunned. He thought it might be a joke, but the address was real: downtown, top floor, marble and glass. When Jack walked into the CEO's office that afternoon, Ethan holding his hand, the contrast was overwhelming. Jack's faded flannel and work boots looked out of place against the gleaming floors and panoramic city view. Richard turned from the window, his expression unreadable. "You're the man from the diner," he said. "You defended that waitress." Jack nodded cautiously. "I did what anyone should have done." Richard studied him closely. "Most people wouldn't have. You've got a rare kind of courage." He paused. "I knew your name sounded familiar." "Jack Harris. We went to Ridgewood High, didn't we?" Jack blinked, memories flooding back: the school gym, the scholarship he lost, the fight that got him expelled while another boy walked away untouched. That boy was Richard Kane. For a long moment, silence filled the office. Richard looked uncomfortable. "I owe you an apology. I should have told the truth back then. I got the scholarship that should have been yours." Jack's jaw tightened. "That was a long time ago. I don't need your apology. I just need a steady job and a way to take care of my kid." Richard's expression softened. "Then let me fix this. Come work for me. You've got the kind of integrity I wish I saw more often." Jack hesitated. Part of him wanted to refuse, he didn't want charity. But Ethan's hopeful eyes made the decision for him. "All right," Jack said finally. "I'll give it a shot." Over the next few months, Jack became more than just an employee. His honesty, humility, and work ethic set him apart. He didn't climb the ladder through charm or luck, he earned every step through sheer grit. Ethan, meanwhile, quickly became the unofficial heart of the office, drawing smiles from even the toughest executives. For the first time in years, Jack felt like life was turning around, but not everyone welcomed him. Some higher-ups whispered that Richard had hired him out of guilt. Rumors spread, and one evening, Jack overheard two managers mocking him near the elevators. "Charity case," one said. "Bet he'll be gone in a month." Jack walked away quietly, but the words stung. That night, as he tucked Ethan into bed, he thought about quitting. He didn't belong in skyscrapers and boardrooms, he belonged in workshops and diners. But Ethan, half asleep, mumbled, "I'm proud of you, Dad." That was all the strength he needed to stay. One day, disaster struck the company. A critical software launch went wrong, threatening to cost millions. Panic rippled through the office. Richard called an emergency meeting, and it was Jack, the man everyone underestimated, who spoke up. "We're too focused on fixing the tech," he said. "We need to fix the people working on it. They're exhausted, scared. Give them a reason to believe again." His words hit home. Jack stayed up nights with the team, bringing coffee, fixing bugs, motivating everyone with quiet confidence. When the launch finally succeeded, the applause wasn't for Richard, it was for Jack. Afterward, Richard called him into his office. "You saved this company," he said simply. Jack shook his head. "No, sir. I just reminded everyone what we were working for." Richard smiled faintly. "You're right. And I was wrong about a lot of things, including what success means." He stood, walking around the desk. "You changed how I see people, Jack. You changed me." But the real moment came weeks later, back at the same diner where it all began. Richard invited Jack and Ethan for dinner. As they ate, the waitress, now smiling and confident again, placed a plate in front of Jack and said, "On the house. For my hero." Ethan giggled, proud beyond words. Richard raised his glass. "To the man who reminded me that true strength isn't in power or money, it's in heart." Jack chuckled, embarrassed but content. "I just did what anyone should have done," he said again. But deep down, he knew this wasn't just about a diner brawl, it was about redemption, second chances, and the courage to stand up when it matters. Later that night, as they walked out into the cool air, Ethan slipped his hand into his father's. "Dad," he said softly, "that man, the one you helped, he's lucky he met you." Jack looked down at his son and smiled. "No, buddy," he whispered. "I'm the lucky one." In the window's reflection, the diner lights glowed warm and steady, a beacon of everything that mattered: kindness, courage, and the quiet heroes who never stop doing what's right, even when no one's watching. And somewhere deep inside, Richard knew the truth too. The man he once wronged had just saved him twice, once from losing his company, and again from losing himself.